About an hour ago I made a video, a short video, just documenting what was playing on Classic FM, just after I'd finished typing the description to this latest upload of mine, a 40-minute video. A 40-minute video titled Very Potent Targeting to My Heart, just hours after creating a new YouTube channel, in brackets, A Hijacked Mind. So I'll now read out Targeted to the Heart. Filmed 19th of March 2024. Audio insert recorded on 18th of March 2024. If you are an open-minded, brave enough, bold enough, if you are open-minded enough, brave enough, bold enough to listen to my story before it's too late, I am more than willing to share. I am currently not reaching nearly enough people that bringing my evidence out into the open would make any difference. I am now afraid for my life, and unfortunately the very people who I thought would give me that opportunity to relate my story appear to have even been manipulated by it. So I've been over all that. And then I say, giving me that opportunity may save my life. The same agency that murdered my cousin has now turned its focus toward me. If I am unable to get a fair platform to share what I have, I fear that they are going to end my life prematurely with a heart attack weapon. Okay, so as soon as I'd finished, I just added that in the last. I added that a little later on. As soon as I'd finished that paragraph there, the last paragraph, I then overheard. I then overheard in the background that the theme tune to Platoon had started playing. It's 3:48. So 3:40 p.m. was roughly the time when the exact time when I finished typing. So I'd finished typing and I was actually rereading it. I was reading over what I'd written, just to check for any mistakes, grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, etc. And then I overheard in the background that Adagio for Strings, the theme tune to Platoon, was playing, and this always seems to play in similar circumstances. When I'm anything around negative dialogue, anything that's if let's say if I've lost some money on the online betting, they'll play this theme tune. I mean, I've documented it enough times, but it always seems to be around every time there's something not positive. I'm not going to necessarily say negative, but not positive. And type in those words there. I'm now afraid for my life, and giving that may save my life, and fear that they are going to end my life prematurely with a heart attack weapon are exactly what you might regard as positive. In fact, they are quite negative words. And then suddenly Platoon starts playing. I'd literally just finished writing those paragraphs, and then Platoon starts playing. Then there's your typical classical piece, but then it's when she gets to this Anne-Marie Millenhall, where her intro was, let me just see, she was blabbing on a bit, and I only caught the last part of what she said. And she introduced the next track by saying, "You know what's coming next, don't you?" Just like that, like I just said it there. That's how she said it. You know what's coming next, don't you? And then the Star Wars theme started playing straight away. I'd actually been talking about May the 4th. I've been explaining. I can't remember what video it was in. I've produced a few videos today, so they're here, there, and everywhere on my desktop. Just been not been able to transfer everything quick enough. Seems like I'm just transferring videos constantly now. I'm trying to get a break from that and just concentrating on the editing. But today it's been a bit of disruption to the editing, because I've been uploading videos and trying to find out what's relating to what and in what sequence. So at some point today I was talking about May the 4th and I don't know where it was. Oh, I think it's in this video actually. I think it might be in this video where I actually talk about May the 4th. Somewhere in the video. I'm not sure at what point, but in the video that I've uploaded, the very last video, which is relating to this text here, that this text relates to, I'm mentioning something about May the 4th. So, yeah, I've just finished editing that, I'd uploaded it, and then she says, you know what's coming next, don't you? So I was mentioning about May the 4th, how my cousin died on May the 4th, that's what I said. I said in the video that my cousin uncannily dies around May the 4th. It was either May the 4th or the 5th, and I was talking about whether, and there's no, I'm not certain of whether it was the 4th or the 5th, whether he had the heart attack that eventually killed him on May the 4th, and then he died on May the 5th. I was into the 5th or something, because no one seems to know. I was just told by my other cousin, a mutual cousin, that he died on the 5th, the morning of the 5th, but he might have had the heart attack, or they might have killed him with that heart attack on May the 4th, and that's what I was referring to in the video. I was talking about that. So I was talking about my cousin's death on May the 4th and how uncanny it is that he should die around the May the 4th, when I was talking about what I'd noted down in the early 2000s about May the 4th and how Star Wars, suddenly became the Star Wars promotional tagline in 2015, over a decade after I'd thought it up. It had been laying dormant on a sheet of paper as an idea, just noted down, just an idea that manifested and came to my mind in the early 2000s, and yet Star Wars didn't use it till 2015. But definitely, I think definitely it was stolen from me through the surveillance that it was stolen, and then they used it, but they didn't use it straight away because I don't know why they could have used it straight away, but maybe it would have been too obvious, and maybe they thought that, you know, I wouldn't refer back to them notes, but that tagline is actually written down by me on a sheet of paper in the early 2000s, and it's still somewhere in the storage. It's mingled up with all my diary notes, etc., along with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other ideas, and some of them have also been stolen and used by people like the BBC. Just 51 minutes. I'd finished typing that description around at the same time when this started, so I just finished just before this started, seconds before, and I was just, while this was as soon as it started playing, I was actually reading through the description that I'd just been typing for the last maybe half an hour or so. She then plays a classical piece of music at 3:48 p.m. but then she leaves the shift by signing off with Star Wars the main theme, and what she says, I've noted it down on a piece of paper, and I'm going to actually record it on the playback when it becomes available to listen to. Hope I might even check it in a short while just to see if I can get it. So 3:51 p.m. she introduces Star Wars by saying, "You know what's coming next, don't you?" And I'd literally been talking about May the 4th, and now my cousin died on May the 4th, and she introduces this in a very creepy tone. I mean, there's something very sinister about this woman. That's her. She's the one who said, "You know what's coming next, don't you?" And then the Star Wars theme started playing, and then you make the connection with May the 4th, etc., which I've just been talking about moments before. They're a very sinister bunch. I mean, I still stick by, but I'll say they're all puppets. The people who are really behind this, you don't see them, you don't hear them, you don't see them. Well, they're the ones who are really behind this. These are just puppets. But when she says stuff like that, she seems to be a lot of feeling behind it. She seems to understand what kind of tone she needs to use. I mean, you could easily be told to say it that way. So, you know, I'm sure they're instructed to say it in a certain way. I mean, well, between tracks, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes there, do you? So, you know, anything could be passed on to them, and people, they could be like, just say it like this, just say it like this, yeah, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not saying for sure that's what happens, but, you know, between tracks, obviously she's got to be doing something. She's not just twiddling her thumbs listening to the music, is she? So I would imagine that stuff's getting passed on to them, and instructions on how to say stuff, much the same way as actors are told when they're filming. During filming, they're given direction. I've never worked at a radio station, so I don't know the dynamics, but I would imagine it's very similar type of direction that these people are given. These are the actors, and the producers and etc., the directors, and I'm sure there's people behind the scenes who are kind of controlling how they say stuff and what they say, for absolute sure. You know, it just seems very weird that that should happen, just as I'm saying that I'm fearing for my life, considering what's happened this morning that woke me up from my sleep in the dream. The very strange non-dream, not my dream, it was inserted, it was transmitted so that then they could respond by stopping my heart for a second with the pulse attack to my heart using the weapon that they used to kill my cousin.